And we are back, PlayStation Live from E3. I'm joined, Holly joined us.
Hello.
Welcome back. We just saw you. And you're
Yeah.
joined by Peter from Toys for Bob. What are we talking about?
We're talking about Spyro Reignited Trilogy.
I'm so excited.
Yes.
You got to play it last night.
Yeah, we got to play last night. I ate all of your Spyro-themed sweets. Thank you for there's like purple and orange sweets everywhere. It's great.
Yeah.
And there's actually quite a lot to talk about. Like, it's not just Spyro. You guys have worked hard.
Yeah, with the 3 games, it's sort of huge, and this is the 20th anniversary from when he first came out.
That reminds me how old I am.
Very old.
I know, me too.
Yeah.
It makes me feel very old. PlayStation 1 game.
Yeah, it's totally worth it, though. Like, this was the perfect time to bring him back.
And we got 3 games, right?
Yeah, so the first 3 games that were made, and today we have Toasty and Treetops, and those are also going to be here at the convention for people to play.
That's amazing.
Yeah. You want me to load it up?
Yeah, let's jump right in.
Yeah. Because it is. If you are a Spyro fan, you played it as a kid growing up, you're about to hit between the eyes with nostalgia. It is exactly what it feels like.
That is totally what we wanted.
Honestly, playing it yesterday and eating all the sweets, I was like, I'm a kid again. I'm like shoveling M&Ms in and playing Spyro.
That's exactly what I want to hear.
Right, so talk about the visuals.
Yeah,
You spent a lot of time making this game look really good for PlayStation 4.
Sure. So we were trying to really make sure we respected the sense of wonder that you get when you were first playing the game. These were open worlds, and there were just huge vistas that you were exploring. And so when we were starting this, we used this Toasty level as one of our benchmark levels so that we could see how we could take the art and where we could push it so that it still feels alive. So you'll see things here like the grass will move with you, and as you play in it, you can still singe it, which is super fun. But then we also added details like putting ivy on the masonry and then pennants and stuff like that. So there are a lot of opportunities where we could add life around throughout the world.
Yeah, I mean, I call it retro-tinted spectacles. When you remember a game, but then when you go back and play it, you're like, oh,
Ooh, it didn't look that good.
I did it.
that was, because the old Spyro games were they were big.
Right.
Like,
Yes.
the first, 3D open worlds. But if you go back, it's kind of empty.
It's kind of empty. So you have some really crazy tech to make these games. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, totally. So we did not have source code to build it from, and our engineers spent some time building a thing that they called Spyroscope. Essentially, Spyro under a microscope. But what that really means is, how do we make sure these jumps here are the right height? And when you have the controller in your hands, if you played it 20 years ago, you have that muscle memory. You're like, oh my God, this is exactly how he's supposed to run and fly. And that's totally where I'd bonk my
And you ran into a wall.
No, totally. But we wanted to make sure we were paying the right amount of respect to that. So people who have that deep-seated memory, they're still going to be able to feel that again here. And that's part of the joy that we've had, too, is just being able to explore that and watch me die by sleeping.
Watch you die.
Yeah.
So when you were remaking these 3 games, what were some of the other things that was really, really important to get right for this franchise?
So the art and the gameplay, like the muscle memory, really led the way. And we had opportunities like in here. This is Nevin's castle. And so Nevin, as I die again, he was, we wanted to really emphasize the artisans. So this is the first area of the first game. All the dragons that have been turned to crystal are now, well, they were artisans. So we have like a painter, sculptor, a barista.
Yeah.
It's all over the place. But it was a fun opportunity to just start building those worlds. And so if you look around here as I'm trying to avoid the dogs, there are all the places that Nevin would visit, some of his friends. He has a self-portrait in there. And it's just little touches that make the world feel alive. Stay away from me, dog.
But even look at the reflection on the floor when you're running.
Yeah.
Like, that's what you can do now. That's what graphics let us do.
Yeah. It was just a whole bunch of freedom to tell a story while still respecting the original story.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And that's been super fun. It's even been to the point where we have a number of people at the studio. Oh, of course. A number of the people at the studio are like super fans. So we were able to engage them about, hey, is this sleeping dog big enough? Is this shepherd really menacing enough with how he's animating? Like, what kind of things do we need to do to make this feel the way that you felt when you were a kid playing it? And we wanted to make sure that we're respecting not just the original rules of the game, but the way the feelings came about with people.
Yeah.
Also, the sound design was very important. Can you talk about sound a little bit?
Yeah.
Voice actors?
It's sort of hard to hear in here, but we did some elements all over the place in the sound. We tried to make it so that it's more dynamic. When you're inside of an interior, the sound will dim a little bit and sort of give you an ambience and a sense of place. Versus if you go to fight a boss, you're going to have extra layers of audio coming in with additional instrumentation and more percussion. Even with that, we added percussion to the steps as you're running around so that you have more of a sense of what it's like being a dragon.
I mean, there's going to be a whole generation of people who will only know Spyro
Yes.
from the Toys to Life Spyro. Like, they won't. This
know.
will be their first time.
Yeah, this will be their first
to see
time
what
playing
I
all these
grew up
games.
with.
This is like, we like to think of this as a totally separate beast from Skylanders, which is
Yeah.
cool. Because like this was the foundation that gave us inspiration to Skylanders in the first place. But we want to make sure that this is done justice the right way.
Yeah.
The fans have really been outpouring their support with how much they like the original character and want to make sure that we're doing him right. And so that's totally on the forefront of everyone at Toys for Bob's mind.
Now, since we're going to go see one of the dragons,
Yeah, I'm gonna head
it's a good
right
time
there.
to mention the voice actors.
Yeah, totally. So the voice of Spyro in the second and third games was Tom Kenny.
Okay.
And since we're doing the trilogy, we wanted to unite them. So he's doing all 3 games worth.
Oh, so he's
of Spyro
voicing all
Hero.
3 games. Nice.
But while we're here, let's see a dragon.
Nevin!
Hey, there we go. Didn't look that good 20 years ago.
has put one of his most
Yeah.
devious henchmen in charge of the artisan world.
Bring him on! I think I smell a barbecue.
Be careful, Spyro. Toasty has many tricks up his sleeve.
Oh, that part gets me. I love it because we're able to keep the same audio, like the spirit of the original audio, but then through a lot of the models, you're getting a lot more gesticulation in the acting there. So even like when Spyro is doing his little wiggle as he's jumping, it's just sort of like, oh, I love that.
It's awesome.
Yeah. So here is Toasty. Ah. I swear I did better yesterday.
We were talking about this yesterday. You're like, oh, I don't know.
Yeah. So Toasty is actually a disgruntled sheep dressed up as a scarecrow. I'm gonna chase him because he's hilarious when he
Counts.
runs.
The noise, the pitter-patter of the feet,
Yeah, the
just
pitter-patter.
brings back that memory to me.
Yeah.
These are my favorite comments now. Oh my god, why don't they just get someone who can play the game?
Yep.
You're like, dude, he's making
be
it.
great.
Like, he's made the game.
Like, you make the game, you should be an expert at it, right?
Yep.
That's the lie that we always tell everyone.
You should be
I'm an
passionate
expert at
about
dying.
it. That's what's more important.
So the Spyro series has a rabid, really active fan base. How has the fan reaction been so far?
We've seen a lot that we've loved too. People have been outpouring how they're feeling about the design of the characters, and it's just been sweet to see.
Look at
A lot of
Toasty.
times, yeah. A lot of times in the studio, we'll actually look through some of the comments just as inspiration.
Nice.
It helps people feel like just super pumped to get through the rest.
Yeah, your work is definitely appreciated.
Yeah, get rid of the ads, and then we can just
There we go.
concentrate. Right.
Get there eventually.
You did it!
So yeah, this is just a brief taste of the Spyro Reignited Trilogy.
So, since we have a few minutes, do you
Yes.
think you could show us the time attack? So,
Of course.
I was very lucky. I actually got to see Spyro yesterday, as we mentioned. You did the demo of this time attack level for us, and you did a really, really good time. You did 1 minute 40,
No
Yeah.
pressure.
which
Yeah.
had knocked 10 seconds
It
off
had.
the best time before
It was pretty
so
good.
When we were chatting, I was like, I'm going to ask you to come and do this on the stage, and I want to
Live.
see if you can beat your own time. So we're looking for a 1 minute 40.
The piece you missed is someone got to 128 yesterday at the end of the day. Yeah, it was awesome. It wasn't.
Okay, we're not aiming. I'm not going to make you do a
I'm gonna
128.
aim for the 140.
We'll do 140.
Yeah.
Yeah, the time attack stuff always makes my palms sweat, so you did very, very well. Rob from PlayStation Access did this, and he got 2 minutes. So.
Oh yeah. Sweet.
So on this particular mode, so that you're concentrating, there are certain things we have to destroy, and you have to destroy all of them before the time runs out. If you do it successfully, it adds additional time so that we can keep flying. And that is the challenge.
These planes are the bane of my existence in this level.
You've got this. Ramon's watching this like, hell no. He's like, hell.
Not happening.
Looks like you're making good time.
No, I gotta get that plane too.
Go for those gates.
The team is gonna be embarrassed by me.
There he is. Yes.
I love that this is a good example of how big the world can be, too. Even as I know I'm about to lose.
So close.
You
So
did.
close.
Next time.
You could get it next time.
Yeah.
So is there anything else you'd like to tell the fans out there about Spyro?
Yeah, the Spyro Reignited Trilogy is coming out September 21st, PlayStation and Xbox, and $39.99 in the States. I don't know the other regions that well. I'm sorry.
Well, thank you so
but yeah.
much for showing and doing
Thank
it
you
on the
so
game
much for the time. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yay, I'm back in my childhood again.
Yeah.
All right, that's it from us, but we'll be right back with more live from PlayStation at E3.
PlayStation